here from Sin Alliance of State 483. And today we're going to talk about the super important topic of PvP. This topic is super important because it is the core of this game, but I feel a lot of players don't know the basics. So let's get started. To first talk about PvP, we have to talk about the core of PvP, which is the troops. You'll notice that you can train three types of troops in your base. You can train infantry here, you can train your riders, and you can train your hunters. Now, if you click into each one of these troop types, you're going to notice that there are two subtypes per main troop type. Within infantry, you're going to have shield and you're going to have shotguns. Now, there are subtypes for example, all the other types as well, right? Riders and hunters, but they're not as important as the infantry. So let's talk about that subtype. So the first thing you need to know is infantry in a fight will always take damage first before all other troop types will take damage. So as an example, if you go to a fight with infantry, riders, and hunters, the infantries will die first, then your riders, then your hunters. And that's just something you need to know and be aware of. So that you always, this is why whenever you fight, you always want to try to have more infantry. And when you are defending a base or defending a building, you want to have more infantry. And you're replenishing infantry always because they're going to be the first one to die and come back home and require healing. Okay, so let's talk about the subtypes of infantry. One of the things you're going to notice is that in infantry, you have shield infantry. You also have shotgun infantry. Whenever you take damage, the shotgun infantry will take damage second to your shield infantry. When considering infantries of all type, for example, shield infantries are tier 1, tier 3, tier 5, tier 7, and tier 9. They will first take damage from lower tier to higher tier. So as an example, if you send tier 1 and tier 3, your tier 1 will die first and then your tier 3, right? And this is true for all the tiers within the same subtype. When you compare two different subtypes, for example, a tier 7 shield and a tier 8 shotgun, the shield will always take damage first. What this means is if you send tier 7 shield with a group of tier 6 shotguns, the tier 7 shields will still take damage. In fact, even if you send tier 9 shields, the tier 9 will take damage first and then the tier 6. This is important to consider when you send armies, especially if you actually want your lower tier shotguns to take the damage and potentially die first, then do not send any higher tier shields. This is very important. Okay, so let's talk next about heroes and how they affect your PvP. When fighting in PvP, the stats you really need to look for in your heroes are two things. Within the military tab, look at your basic benefits, but also look at your skills. Let's first talk about rally leaders, as then you'll consider all the skills and all the benefits first. Your brawlers will boost infantry, your scouts will boost your riders, and your marksmen will boost your hunters. And this is just how the game is built. Every one of these hero type will boost their respective troop type. In addition, however, you'll notice that there are specific stats given to certain heroes, right? And that makes these heroes sometimes better for defense, or better for offense, or better for rallying, or better for killing infected. So let's first talk about great defending heroes, right? And this is really, again, for rally leaders. Let's take a look at this hero called Wolf. Wolf is a tier 2 hero, and you'll notice that he buffs, of course, infantry. But the first thing to consider is he has this one substat called Settlement Troop Health. Whenever you see Settlement Troop something, and not enemy settlement troop something, that means he is boosting the settlement, so your current base, or any building you're defending, stats. So for example, he's going to give your base troops 15% more health. Again, these stats are boosted by your rank, so higher rank heroes will have better stats, lower rank heroes will have less. The other part that's really important is he has this other substat called Rally Troop Lethality plus 5%. What this will do is that if he's in a rally, either offensive or defensive, he will give the entire rally 5% more lethality, right? So that's more troops being killed. That's how you know this hero is a defensive hero, because he boosts settlement troop health. Now let's look at an offensive hero. As an example, let's look at Lucky. So Lucky has a stat that says enemy settlement troop defense minus 3.5%. This means that when she is attacking a settlement, the enemy settlement, the settlement that she's attacking, will actually have reduced defense. She'll bring down their stats. In addition, she's going to give the entire rally troop health 2.3%. So the rally has more health if she's part of the rally. Okay, next to consider are things like skills. So let's take a look at this hero called Jeb. Jeb is a great hero for rally leading. And the reason is because when rally lead heroes are being considered, all the skills are active for that rally and not just the first one. So first thing, let's look at Jeb's stats. You can tell from the fact that he has enemy settlement troop lethality minus 6% and rally troop attacks plus 4% makes him a great attacking hero. Let's look at his skills. The first skill is kind of a throwaway, right? So he's going to give some bonus based on some percentage. These skills usually are going to be beneficial. However, they're not going to have scaling effects. Let's look at his second skill. His second skill will give entire troops damage boost. At max level, it's going to be 25%. That's quite a bit. Let's look at his third skills. His third skills will actually reduce troop damage received by 4%. Max level, 20%. This means that his troops are going to deal more damage and take less damage, in addition to reducing the other team's lethality, which means how many troops that are going to be lost, as well as if he's part of a rally or the rally lead, he's going to increase the actual rally troop attack for that entire rally. So, however many people are in that rally. That's how these skills all kind of work. Again, if you're the rally leader, all the skills within the rally will be active. Okay, let's talk about rally joiners since we're here. When you join rally, your basic benefit stats here do not matter. However, what does matter is your first skill. And the way that the game determines this is every rally, the rally joiners, so in addition to the lead, 4 of them will contribute their skills directly to the rally. As an example, Ghost is a great hero to use for PvP simply because if he is joining a rally, he's going to increase the health of all troops in that rally by 25%. In a similar way, you have heroes like Nicola, who does something similar, where he joins a rally and he's going to increase the troops' health by 25%. If you join a rally, say there's this rally here, you want to make sure that the first hero is your captain, so it's this hero. So if you click on that section, you'll notice Nicola is my first hero, and you'll notice his Tesla Tower is the skill that's going to be active. So I'll show you how that works. So say, look at the rally benefits of this rally right now. And right now, only one skill is active, right? But when I join with Nicola as the leader here, you'll notice that Nicola's Tesla Tower is now part of this rally, and it's providing benefit to the entire rally. Again, because Karma is our rally leader, all of her hero's skills are active. Because we're only joining her rally, only 4 of the top hero skills will be the rally member skills contributing to the rally. And again, these stats are all based on Karma's heroes, not mine. Mine do not affect these stats. Okay. In addition to this, next thing to think about is that whenever you attack a settlement, remember that you're probably going to be using attacking heroes. So that means once you win a settlement, this is very important for rally leaders, you actually want to swap out your heroes, right? So you're probably going to be using enemy settlement troop, for example, defense reduction heroes on attack. Then once you win that settlement, you might want to put defensive heroes like Wolf, Maddie. These are all great defensive heroes on that settlement to actually make it easier to defend that settlement. Other things that are going to affect your rally stats are going to be, for example, your talents here. So all the talents under the war tree, they give stats to the specific things. For example, this increases the lethality of infantry. Some things increase the attack or health of riders, hunters, etc. You definitely want to max out these things if you're going to be the rally leader. I highly recommend putting all of your stats into the war tree if you're going to be rally leading. For example, for trap or more serious things like bunker fights or capital clash. Another way to increase your troops' stats directly is by just researching the specific things. As an example, if you look at the battle tree here, you're going to have all these different research that's going to directly contribute to your troops' stats. For example, this increases hunter attack by 5%. Okay, let's talk about other things too. So you also have chief gear, and chief badges, which again just give direct attribute increases to troop types. This badge, for example, gives some attribute increase to riders, and then your chief gears, for example, this one gives attribute increases to hunters. And there's also the quality benefits and these kind of set benefits for the entire set if you collect all of blues, etc. Something to think about when you build your gear together. Now that you know all the basics of battle, let's talk about battle results. So let's take a specific battle report here and we'll kind of work through it. So take, for example, this rally attack that was failed, So I was the defender against a rally that came at me. So let's see what happens. First line is the number of troops sent by both teams. Second line is how many troops were killed. Third line is how many troops were wounded, which means they were sent to the hospital. Fourth line is lightly wounded. These troops are directly just sent back to your base, especially if you're on the losing side. And then they basically just directly become something that's available to be sent again. They don't go to the hospital. And survived means that they're going to stay on the base. As an example, if you're the attacker, this number is how many troops are actually going to stay inside that building. Of course, you have your cheap gear comparison. This doesn't matter too much. It's more of a visual representation of what you're going to see below here. As you can see, this other person who's attacking me has much better stats than me, and thus it's pretty obvious why I lost, in addition to the fact that I had a third of his troops. Now, as we're looking at specific battle results, we're going to talk about how defense and attack work in general. In this game, there are two types of situations, whether you're counted as a defender or attacker. As in general, all defenders have all troops go to hospitals, and there will be no losses, meaning no permanent troops killed, unless the hospital is full. And all attackers will have some troops lost permanently, and this means 100% loss. These troops will not go to enlistment, and they're just going to be permanently gone from the game. The defender attack rules apply as follows. For defenders, all things in general, bunker, fortress, capital clash, tower, and HQ defense, when it is your tower, for example, if my alliance is defending our own tower or attacking somebody off of our own tower or own alliance structures, then that's counted as defense. All AC fights, so analysis centers, level 1 through 3 are counted as defense, no matter if you're on the attacking side or defending side. And of course, if you're defending your own settlement, that's counted as defense. This report here is an attack on capital clash, and thus both sides are considered defending rules. The attacking rule apply when someone is attacking a settlement, when someone is attacking or defending because they're, for example, on a enemy tower, they're sabotaging it, that's actually counted as attack. As an example, if you go march onto a tower to sabotage it, then the enemy comes and hit you. They're going to have defender rule applied even though they're the attackers. You're going to have attacking rule applied even though you're technically the defenders on that tower. That's just how it works. Again, this only applies to alliance towers and alliance headquarters. And one other thing is I discovered that level 4 analysis centers work where both sides have attacking rules. I do believe this is a bug, but I'm not sure. Let's talk about batch healing. Batch healing is a skill you can use to help you heal a large amount of troops very quickly. After a large battle like Capital Clash, you're going to have days worth of healing. So rather than healing all of them with days and getting help from your team, you can actually heal them in small batches. So what we're going to do here is click quick select only about 45 minutes or so of healing, and then ask our alliance for help. And if your alliance is active and you have lots of people who are online who are able to tap help, they can actually heal through this 40 to 45 minutes batches very quickly. Again, the batch size depends on how active your alliance is and how many players are usually online. And as you can see, I've already healed through most of that batch, and I'll have this done very quickly by my entire alliance. So again, healing in small batches is usually more beneficial than healing one large chunk of troops, and that is batch healing. Another thing to consider is that when you are sitting inside your base territory, you're going to have some key benefits applied to you. As an example, when you're inside your territory, you're going to get all these buffs here, right? For example, you're going to get some resource gathering buffs. You're going to have some settlement troop defense and attack buffs. These are applied directly, and they're meant to kind of help you defend against enemy attacks, right? So they're going to lose more just by attacking into your territory. The other thing to consider is that whenever you start fighting a war, do consider using the Massive March talent here. This talent has a cooldown of 12 hours, but for 30 minutes, it's going to give you 10% more march capacity. What this will do is that it will allow you to have a bigger rally. It will allow you to send more troops to a rally. So all things that kind of can help basically make a more stronger rally. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Obviously, you know, if you have any questions, I would love to hear it. So make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and leave any feedback, questions, or whatever other videos you would like to know about next. Just leave down in the comment box and I will try to get to that. This has been Masaki from the Sin Lines on State 483.